can go if you want me to.
No, don't go anywhere, please. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber, Dan. Elimination Chamber this year is being announced for February the 24th over in Perth, Australia. How does that sound to you, man?
I like Elimination Chamber. I'm trying to work out what time that would be on in the UK though.
Are they 12 hours behind?
I don't know if they're far off, but I know it's a good distance.
I remember when they did the Super Show before, which was in Australia, and I think it started like early morning.
Yeah.
So I think that should be cool.
So Perth is 7 hours ahead. So in Perth at the minute, it's 5:47 in the morning.
Oh, mate, so that's going to start super early. We're not going to be able to watch that at all.
Unless we're super crazy.
That's going to be midway through the night, isn't it? You're super crazy. You are super crazy.
Let me work this out. So if we had 12 hours on, so you'd be looking at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're probably looking at 11 or 12 o'clock UK time.
Oh, you reckon? I think this last Super Show was about 11, so it's not too bad.
Mac's already done it for us. 1 p.m. UK time. Nice, thanks,
1
Mac.
p.m. UK time. Well, that's fine. How does it work out for the US crowd?
So
let's do Eastern.
East Coast would be 5 or 6 o'clock-ish, depending on daylight savings and stuff like that.
In the morning?
Yes.
Ouch. That's going to affect its viewing figures.
Yeah. 8 o'clock in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there, which means for the West Coast, you'd be looking at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Ouch.
Which is a big chunk of audience.
It is a big chunk of audience, and it's the majority of WWE's audience as well. So interesting. What I was interested about as well is the fact that Emma had tweeted out like just before Elimination Chamber, Perth, home country, finally, can't wait, and then an hour later went, forget that, I've been released.
Yep. Such a shame because you'll put her on. I don't even think you need to put her against Rhea Ripley because Rhea's obviously Australian.
Yeah.
You've got 2 women's matches that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Emma versus the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it now, the undisputed WWE Women's Champion, the one that's not Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
You've got someone going up against an Australian, going to get a huge pop. It's going to get a lot of interest. Even though they might not win, you've got a great match. Then you'll put Rhea Ripley against someone. You've got another Australian in a match going against someone. You're going to get 2 huge pops very easily, and you're throwing it away.
Easy. Absolutely throwing it away. Absolutely throwing it away with the recent releases. I wonder if they'd thought about that at all.
Probably not. They're basically looking at all of that. That's all they're looking at. We know this.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the people looking at making cuts to talent are not necessarily thinking about what's coming up next.
Yeah.
So, just seems like a really strange thing because they haven't got Toni Storm as well, who's another fantastic Australian performer, you know. Buddy Murphy, obviously, is with AEW. Is there any other Aussies on WWE TV that we can think of? Guys, help us out. Mark says Perth is in Western Australia and prime time there, or 8 p.m. AWST, would be 8 a.m. Eastern and 5 a.m. Pacific time in the United States and 1 p.m. GMT in the England.
So I've just had a quick Google. You've got Indy Hartwell that is still main roster signed.
Is she on main roster? I thought she was NXT.
She was, and then she came up early this year. I think it was just after WrestleMania. She started appearing in a couple of backstage segments with Gargano.
Oh, okay.
It looks like at one point there was going to reform the Way from that was in NXT.
The Way forward for WWE.
You've obviously got Rhea Ripley, Emma that we've just discussed, and then Jonah / Bronson Reed, who is obviously still signed with WWE as well.
Okay, Bronson Reed, so you can put him in some big main event match, but to be honest, Bronson Reed would be great in elimination. He'd be great in elimination
match against Gunther.
What, against Gunther? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's nice. Yeah, I like it. It'd feel like a real threat, but then you'd have him lose, wouldn't you?
You'd have him lose.
Maybe you don't. But Rhea Ripley can win her match, so put in over an Aussie and get a big cheer.
Yep, easy.
Yeah. Should book for WWE, Dan.
We should.
Call trips. Let's call trips. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Cool. And I love
Get rid of
Elimination
Rose
Chamber,
Pritchard.
but I haven't really enjoyed Elimination Chamber since they've got rid of the steel
Big
grates
red
on the
cage.
outside. No, it's a steel grates, man. I like the new cage. I like the design of it. I think the camera works great for it and stuff like that. But it's the padding on the thing. Like, that's, for me, what always made Elimination Chamber feel deadly.
Yeah.
You know, the corrugated iron on the outside, and now it's like I get it's a lot safer, but it just doesn't feel like it has the same risk.
You did even a small move to the outside, like a bog standard DDT, because it was metal sounding. It just sounded so much more impactful, and it was a great way to put over a very simple finish.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think there's been a good Elimination Chamber match for years.
The last one that I can recall that I really, really enjoyed was Shayna Baszler going on an absolute tear.
Shayna Baszler going on a tear was really good, yeah.
Beating everyone in the Elimination Chamber, but WWE at WrestleMania should have pulled the plug on her and made her beat Becky Lynch. They didn't.
They didn't.
And I think if you'd have pulled the plug, then it would have really pushed her up the card.
It certainly could have, dude, but WWE decided not to do it. So that is Elimination Chamber. What do you guys think about them showing it over in Ausland? Decided to call Australia Ausland.
I do think that having all of these pay-per-views all over the world is increasing their global scope and reputation and stuff like that, which is always good.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we've had UK shows, we've obviously got Saudi shows, so you've got shows all across different time zones. So it's giving like people that wouldn't normally get to watch because of their time zone a good opportunity to watch something at a reasonable time. How happy was you watching Money in the Bank?
Because of the way content is, if you want to avoid watching Elimination Chamber and avoid any spoilers, all you do is avoid YouTube, wake up and watch Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately. One thing I would ask is what time is it's Saturday. It is Saturday, February the 24th. So
that'd be Saturday dinner time for us.
Would it? Because we're behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's Saturday night there, it'd be Saturday dinner time for us.
So it'd be Saturday morning for the US crowd.
Yes.
Yes. But that's okay because, again, that gives you the whole weekend to watch it. And if you want to avoid spoilers, people do it with football all the time, man. You go to like places and people are like, don't spoil the scores for me because I just want to watch the match themselves, which is fair enough, you know?